Hello there, everybody. As you can see, changed the title. I've got something I want to talk about. I was going to wait till Wednesday, but I need help now, basically. But because there's a lot of people that do tune in for the tips and bits and pieces, and so some people can get on the chat, I'm going to do a few normal bits first, and then are going to I need drastic emergency help. Help me. It's serious. It's serious. So let's begin with what? Oh, let's do ABCs. And for those of you who are new to my lives, what are ABCs? ABCs are awesome badges, channel shout outs, and anyone who sends me a sticker I make into a badge and then do a shout out for your channel. So whose badge are we on at the moment? We are on Danny Day's Homestead. This is the badge that I got last week, and I'm going to promote it again this week. Danny Day's Homestead. Do go and look at her channel. She's fairly new to homesteading, and you wouldn't know it from watching. She's doing some awesome growing. She's following a lot of homesteading channels for tips and advice, and she's always looking things up and trying different things. So do go on to Danny Day's Homestead. I'd really appreciate it if you go on there from this channel, that you let her know you heard the shout out for her channel on my channel. So do check out Danny Day's Homestead if you're loyal to her channel. She's a great community member, as indeed we all are. So do go and check out Danny Day's Homestead. So that's going to be my badge for this episode. And so you'll get a shout out and you'll see it through the whole live. If you send a sticker, I can't send you stickers back. I don't have such beast. So if you just want a shout out, that's the way to go. My address is under here. My email, which you'll need if you're responding to my shout out for help in a minute, is underneath as well. Or just send me a message if you want to personally message me. You can always email me. Not someone's done before and used it for nasty things. But there you go. So welcome to the Pea Brain Show. And today I'm going to start by carrying on. I'm doing a little episode of So Grow Mo and Ho Ho Ho, where I'm reading bits out of. These are a whole series of booklets, very thin, that Mike got from his mum from the 70s. Hi, Neil. And I was just reading bits to see the differences in that era versus homesteading and gardening of this era. And this was a little section on useful gadgets. If you like what I'm reading, you want to find out more, the last few Mondays, might have missed one out, but the last few Mondays I've been going through all the gadgets that they talk about in this particular one, and people were really keen on it, so I said I'd carry on reading some more bits, just very long, so breaking it up into several episodes. I think we were up to 3 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. We were up to the measuring scoop. I don't think we've done that. So I'm only going to do a little bit more of it. So a measuring scope, and it says one problem with frequently faces the home gardener is that of distributing fertilizer easily onto vegetable plot or around fruit trees and bushes. One way around this difficulty is to use a simple measure such as a small plastic or metal container suitably calibrated to indicate the various amounts required. Glitter bombs to you, Squirrely. I lost my place now. Completely lost my voice. I sounded so cool then that I was actually following what I was reading. Where are we? To make the scoop, you'll need 9mm thick piece of wood, a length of wooden dowel for the handle, and a large empty plastic yogurt carton cut down as shown in the diagram to serve as the scoop. So here's the picture options down here. That's the yogurt pot that we're not allowed to have in Cyprus anymore because it's a one use. I'll talk about that on Wednesday because I talked about it last Wednesday. From the beginning of this month, we can't have any one use plastics anymore or import them. And yes, it's happened. It started. Where are we? The measurer should then be calibrated by weighing out, say, 60 grams, 2 ounces of fertiliser. Obviously, this could be for anything. Using a reliable set of scales, placing this in the scoop and marking off the level to which it reaches. Do this first in pencil and then after emptying out the fertiliser with paint or an ink for permanent marking, finally fix the scoop to the handle by means of a screw and washer and add painted wood strengtheners as shown in the diagram. So that's basically that. So it could be a scoop for anything, basically. That's the scoop. We'll do one more of this. Frame support and ventilating block. Each year, many thousands of plants growing in garden frames suffer from lack of attention. Much of the trouble is due to the gardeners not knowing how to deal with two common problems: how to prop up the frame safely while carrying out various jobs inside the frame, and how to ventilate the frame properly. So for a frame support, the problem of propping up a frame can be solved by using convenient lengths of 4cm square timbers to which are screwed 2 wooden jaws to grip the end of the light firmly as shown in the diagram. That's here. So this is quite useful. I'm doing some vertical gardening, some different ideas, many different ideas of different vertical gardening. So you'll see that coming up. Each jaw should be made from a 15cm length of 4cm by 2cm timber. Another important requirement is that the light is secured at the back so it cannot slip. You can do this by nailing or screwing 2 blocks of wood onto the back of the frame base, raised so that they leave an edge or lip against which the frame light can rest. To use the frame support, place its bottom end, the opposite end to the jaws, close up against the front of the frame base and hold the top end clear of the light, which you then raise with your other hand. Next, fit the front edge of the light firmly between the 2 jaws and check they're gripping the light properly before releasing your grasp of both support and light. So I'll show you again a picture. It's always helpful if you can see what I'm talking about. And then it says for the ventilating block, this is simple and easily made device for propping open a frame light in a variety of positions. Obtain a piece of 5cm square timber and cut it into 3 pieces, 15cm, 10cm and 5cm in length. Then nail a 15cm by 5cm strip of 6mm wood to either side of the 3 blocks after placing them one on top of the other as shown in the diagram. That's here. That makes more sense again when you see what we're on about. You can then use the block to raise the frame light to a height of 5cm, 10cm or 15cm, as you can also remove the frame light completely or shut it. You have a total of 5 ventilation controls for your frame, which would meet all your needs. If, as with some makes of frame, the light overlaps the base, then simply invert the ventilating block so that the light rests comfortably on the block in any of the 3 positions. So I hope that was helpful to somebody. It's just sometimes old ideas are good, but sometimes it's quite interesting how things have changed. Okay, let's do some quick hacks. So we go on to my section here that is knacks, hacks, facts and stacks. It can be gardening, home or anything else. Today I have chosen to talk about glass, anything to do with glass. So tip 1, old newspapers rolled into a pad are splendid for cleaning windows. They remove all smears and shine the glass. Do, of course, check what ink is used these days from whichever country you are. Tip number 2, use hot vinegar on a rag to remove bird marks or dried paint splashes from windows. This is a very helpful tip. Clean frosted glass with warm water containing vinegar and polish with a lintless cloth. Tip number 3. To clean the green residue from the bottom of a vase, fill with a solution of biological washing powder or liquid and water and let it soak. Rinse well. A few drops of ammonia added to the rinsing water makes the glass really shine. Next tip. If household bleach fails to remove discoloration from inside a narrow-necked glass flower vase, bottle or decanter, fill the container with warm water and 2 teaspoons, 10 grams, of sand. Shake well and rinse. Repeat if necessary. That obviously is like fine grit then. And the last tip for glass today, crushed eggshells and water make an excellent scourer for vases. So there's another option instead for you. We have that. What else are we going to do today? Let's do... Oh, people keep asking more questions about Cyprus and produce, and I was doing a series slowly on my lives talking about different produce. So I hadn't talked about weaving, and I've got a film coming up soon, haven't even edited it yet, about the little bit of the lace here. Actually, depending on the pattern of the lace is where the area the lace was made from in Cyprus. So that will be coming up soon. But we'll talk about weaving. So this is our segment of It's All Greek to Me. And as I always say, this is the Greek flag. Cyprus is not a Greek island. We're an independent country. This is the flag of Cyprus, the only country in the whole world that has the outline of their country on their flag. So there's a little fact for you there. So talking about weaving, and I'm reading this from my book, Authentic Cyprus, talking about rural Cyprus, where you still see everything very authentic. So weaving. It is known that weaving was highly developed during the Byzantine times and during the Venetian period. Valuable silk and woolen fabrics, renowned for their high quality, were exported in great quantities to Europe. Fiti weaving, that's F-Y-T-I, which derives its name from the village, consists of colourful geometric textured designs on undyed cotton cloth. The pluma, which is another word for it, in strong reds, yellows, blues, greens and orange, are made by placing thick coloured thread among the warp threads. Fiti weaving is usually made into rectangular napkins, tablecloths and bed covers. The origins of this weaving are lost in the past, but geometric patterns similar to those in Fiti work can be seen on pottery from the geometric period. Another style weaving is the leftonico weave of the brightly coloured stripes. This strong fabric, which comes in a glory array of bright colours, makes good table mats, table runners, throws for sofas, rugs, bed covers and curtains. Cyprus rag rugs are still made in many colour combinations, using cotton thread for the warp and stripes of fabric for the weft. In the mountain villages, rugs were woven of a mixture of goat hair and wool in muted stripes. So that's really interesting. As I say, I'm going to do more videos on some of these produce and products, and obviously I've got a little bit of footage coming up soon. I actually go around some shops of like souvenir things, but quality souvenirs. So when I show that video, look round and see if you can spot anything that I've just spoken of, because we've even got one of the rugs here, so look out for those videos. Okay, so let's talk about what is changing here, what's going on. Things are changing rapidly in maybe not the best of ways. I'm not going to dwell about my condition, but let's say me and Mike have chatted and we feel the time has come where I need a permanent PA. Now, I did briefly talk about this a while ago, but we've decided now is the time we need such a thing. I'm not talking about a carer, so I'm not talking about bathing, dressing, those kind of things. I do not need a carer. I need a full-time PA. Now, that could mean a long-term PA, as in someone who maybe wanted to do it for a few months and then go, or it could be a full-time, as in for the future. Either of those would suit me. Obviously, it depends on who's coming and their circumstances. Now, we have workawayers, which I would say is the basic needs, as in helping me with gardening. That's mostly all they do. It's things in the garden, maybe a little bit of DIY, those kind of things. So what do I need? Well, I don't think I'm going to have anyone who will cover everything. So what I'm asking for is for people to apply, saying what they could offer me, and then I'd have to see. So if you could only garden, okay, there's other things I need, but that would take a whole amount of pressure off of me. Let's say you could only support me every day, as in I need someone to go out walking with me, because Mike's not happy with me doing my rural walks, obviously. He's not able to come with me because he's busy. Don't ask if there's not friends or neighbours that could come. No one lives near me, so you're asking someone to drive miles to come and do such things. So it could be more, like I say, that kind of thing as companionship, but Mike would know there's someone with me. I don't need someone to do my YouTubing. I know a lot of people who do YouTube, they suddenly have an assistant to do all the YouTubing. Things like that take me about 10 times as long as a normal person it would take. And I'm finding that with everything else I want to do, there's not enough time in the day. And before anyone says, can't you rest or you need to rest, rest is a massive problem for me. As I've said before, I try and keep my lives to 2 hours. I need to get up and move. So the longer I rest, the worse I am. So I need to be mobile and be physical. But I want someone to do not so much the heavier work, but the more, I mean, I've talked about this before, making a cup of tea. You would all just make a cup of tea. If I make a cup of tea, we don't drink tea. It's an example. Cup of coffee. If I was to make that, whereas you just do it and you can chat at the same time, I have to physically think I'm holding a cup, or I would drop the cup, put the cup down. Now I need the coffee. And I physically have to talk myself through in my head to do the movements. I've said before, like, we've all done it where you go to put the washing in the washing machine and you might open the bin and then you're like, what am I doing? Put it in there. That is my everyday life, all day, every day, unless I physically think about what I've got to do. So, as I say, no one's going to fulfill all my criteria for me. So I'm asking, the reason I'm doing it through YouTube is I need someone I feel comfortable with. Now, I know you guys out there, I don't really know you, but I just thought it might be an option for someone out there who maybe would love to come and live in Cyprus. As I say, it could be a permanent or it could be long term. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no. I can get workaways doing that. Briefly, I'll talk more about things you can help me with in a minute, but let me just explain what you get. You can live here with free accommodation, and that's not in my house. So you will have your own area, free accommodation. That could be changeable, as in upgraded the accommodation as we build and progress. So there's a possibility of that. If you're interested, I'll talk more about what that is, but it's self-contained accommodation. Do I want a single person or a couple? Well, initially I said to Mike, I wanted a one-to-one person, can be male or female, depends on what you can offer me. But then, as Mike said, well, you might get a couple who, let's not talk gender, but an example, the female might cook and clean and, I don't know, make things, sew, and like every day-to-day stuff. You're basically living your life, but sort of helping me do my stuff. Whereas let's say the man perhaps might be able to do some DIY stuff, and it's all the stuff that we would ask workaways to do, but as I say, more longer term. Shirley says this is not a point of what they can do, it's what's needed of them. Yes, as I say though, Shirley, there's so many things you could do to help me. Anything is better than nothing right now for me. So I'm asking people, the best way is to email me if you're interested. Let's just say you might not even want to definitely do it, you're just interested further, you're putting forward that you've got some interest in it. And then, as I say, I'd rather have somebody that can do a few things than nobody right now. So that's why I'm saying what you can do, what you feel you could do. And then it doesn't mean the person who offers the most we will go for. Obviously, it's who I feel sort of more at one with, more sort of bonded with. And as I say, it's an opportunity for someone who might want to move to Cyprus, either long term or permanent, can't afford it possibly. We can't pay you anything for doing it, but I think free accommodation is the trade-off. You won't have bills, but you will have to buy your own food, and obviously you will have to sort out, if you are here permanently, then it's up to you to sort out any paperwork or anything like that. We'll tell you what you need to do, but we're not responsible. We're not employing you because we're not paying you. So that stops a lot of situations. It could suit someone who's retired. It could suit somebody that still wants to go to work and get an income. You could work here, because I only want to have your help mornings. So we say you work, I don't want to use the word work, you are my PA, my assistant, let's say 5 days a week. We'll work it out between us, but I'm thinking 5 mornings a week. So every weekday morning, helping me out. That might just be, I want to go out for a walk this morning, and we might walk till lunchtime, and that's your day. So it's not going to be labour. It's going to be whatever I need. And I've been walking on Tuesdays. So right now it would be a case of, oh, it's Tuesday, we're going for a walk. And just the peace of mind for Mike would be tremendous. So as I say, it's not about you need to offer me all these things. It's what do you think you can offer? You've got to be, for the long term, interested in the off-grid setup here, because if something happened to Mike, I need someone who, I know how to do it, but I have to follow like a manual because I'm not doing it all the time. It's too much for me. You know what I'm like, to like read it through and everything. So I will need someone to learn it from Mike. Things like doing the pool, doing the swimming pool. You would need to drive, but you wouldn't need a car because Mike would take you shopping when he goes shopping. We're not a taxi service, so we're not going to run you around whenever you want to go anywhere. So if you want to be independent, then yes, you'd have to get a car. But in the long term, if something happened to Mike, then there's a car here. We could get that sorted out. So there's that. I can't go through everything. It's just day-to-day stuff. It's basically you're shadowing my life. You've seen my life. You see what I do. I can. Sorry. Oh yes, Mike said one of the main criteria is you must not be a smoker in any shape or form. So that's no cigarettes, no pipe, no what do you call these vaping things, none of that, and no drugs of any kind, because that's highly illegal here. So if any of that is you, then unfortunately that's a most definite no. So there is that. As I say, you could be a retiree, so you've got your own pension income, so then you wouldn't need to work. If you wanted to have spending money, well, you've got to buy your food anyway, so you've got to have money behind you in some shape or form. You've got the afternoon, so you could go and get a little job if you wanted to. You could be an online worker. That would be sort of the best option. So if you work online, obviously if you're a YouTuber and you're earning enough money and that's your income, it would suit you. You would have to be in my YouTube videos if you came and worked here. I mustn't use the word work. It's a companion, let's say. And as I say, you're basically going to be shadowing my mornings. So what I try to do is in the mornings, I do all the gardening, basically any jobs that need doing, bits and pieces. Although I might need your help clean the house, we're not talking about a domestic. So it's not every day cleaning the house. It might just be, oh, the windows need a wash today. You're not my house cleaner, but there will be days when I say, like if I've had problems, I say, could you just mop the floor, sweep the floor? But you are most definitely not a cleaner or a domestic worker. There'll be no cleaning the toilets or anything like that. You're not a domestic. But as I say, there might be an odd occasion. I say, could you just clean this out? Or that you are not a cleaner. Neil says, workers showed up, going to bounce off, take care. Okay, cool. Thanks for popping in. Anything else, Mike, we talked about? As I say, there's so much, I can't really think of all the things you could do. That's why if you can do something, as I say, I enjoy doing the YouTube, but that and everything else, it takes me 10 times as long to do the simplest things. Nothing's getting done. I would say there's a lot of gardening. So you've got to be interested in gardening. You don't have to know anything. Gardening, cooking, you're not going to cook for me all the time. We could share meals together, but you're going to be independent as well. So you'll buy your own food, but then we might say once a week, well, let's a week together. That we have to discuss how you want to do it. I don't want you to feel you have to live with us, because first of all, Mike said, oh, you could have a spare room in our house. And I was like, I want my privacy as much as someone else would want their privacy. But so saying that, you will be classed as a family member who's independent. So, I mean, we do barbecues and things like that. You could use our swimming pool. We'd have to talk about if you had guests. So that is something that on our Workaway and our Airbnb, we've always said no guests. Now, obviously, if you're here full time, that's another matter. So obviously, if you had family or friends wanted to visit, we'd have to talk about that because they would be under the same rules of no smoking, etc. And obviously, I wouldn't want you inviting a whole group of people over and using the pool. So the pool is not for them. So these are things that we'd discuss a little bit more. But as I say, I need someone now. Things might look good, but no, no. As I say, I could do it through Workaway. You can ask for sort of longer term people. I just feel I want to connect more with somebody that I already know of. You're asking, is there not family that could come? Is there not friends that could come? They already know my situation. I'm not going to ask them. They know the situation. Hey, Ashley. Ashley, you need to go and look on my community post. You need to have a little looky on there. I think there'll be something of interest to you on my last community post. We're just talking about I'm looking for an assistant, a PA, either full-time or long-term. What else? Yeah, as I say, mostly sort of gardening. Oh, he sent me an email to you too. Yeah, so it could be a retiree. As I say, I don't mind if it's a couple. If you want to move to Cyprus and have free accommodation, I need help. So as I say, full-time or long-term, not as a holiday. If you want to do it just like that, yeah, sure, I'm happy for that. But I'm looking for something a bit longer. But if you just want to come out like a Workaway, but you don't have to join Workaway, or as a short-term thing, that would be fine. I've opened that up to all my friends on YouTube. If you just want to come over, you can either pay to stay in our accommodation or come for free, but help out for, it's 3 hours for Workaway. Double check, please. I'm not great at sending emails. I will check. Let me write down to check. I'll check anyway because I'll be like, it's actually replied. I haven't been on my emails today, so very possible. Yeah, so as I say, I keep digressing. It'd be mostly for like gardening, DIY. We're laying slabs at the moment, so things like that. Just helping out. If you can't do DIY or gardening, you don't know anything, but you're willing to learn, I'm happy to accept you there as well. What else would it entail? I might make a video on it just to sort of write things down so I can think of more things. As I say, it's mostly helping in the garden and with our DIY projects. We're going to be putting fencing up. Of course, you'll be, if you are a YouTuber and you decide to come here to be my PA, then you will be ahead, obviously, of what's going on here. So I don't mind you YouTubing here, but if it's projects that aren't shown on my channel yet, then obviously I don't want that filmed or posted until I've shown it. So I do know a lot of YouTubers that have other YouTubers come. That does become a problem, particularly if they've got set days that they post. What else? I would say it's mostly gardening and outdoor projects. As I say, you've got to, well, you haven't got to, but walking. I definitely need someone to come walking with me, as I say, for safety. just art and craft stuff. If you're into that, it's not something that's necessary. Sewing is a big thing. Hey there, how are you doing? What else? Or if you are someone on my channel and you know of someone that would like to come and live in Cyprus to be my full-time PA, that maybe wants to start off-grid living or homesteading, but they can't afford land or whatever, and you say, oh, my friend wants a PA to help in the garden and go walking and stuff like that. It's, as I say, it's only the accommodation that's free, permanent free living, but you will have to pay for things yourself. Go back if you've not seen the beginning on your phone call. So if you don't want to come and live here and be my PA, but you know someone that would love to do that, then just let them know I need to be comfortable with them first. So therefore they need to contact me and start getting a bit of a rapport up with me first of all. Hence why I'm doing it through YouTube, because I want someone I kind of know and sort of got to know a little bit more. As I say, it's not a carer, so it's no personal stuff. It is purely to literally shadow me and help me do my life, basically. So I don't know what else I'd need you to do. I mean, if you can bring to the table, oh, I do know something else. Things like the prepping and all those kind of things, the sort of after harvesting, that kind of stuff. Wish you could. Cool. Or if you're with other channels, there might be someone there. Or it's a shame because so many people seem to be heading to Portugal because that's the thing, and they're all saying, oh, we'd like to do it and or go somewhere. If only they would look at Cyprus. There's so many of them want to start life abroad, but they can't afford it. What else? I'm trying to think of other things. As I say, nothing personal. As I say, if you can drive, that would be a bonus, but you don't have to have a car or drive. But I mean, if you did, then you could go out places and things for your hours. So it's not just work help. It's not just help for your hours. So it's just shadowing me. If someone prefers a schedule, yes, we could do that. If you're happy to just be whatever on the next day, I'd probably tell you the day before, but it depends on me. As I say, today I didn't even get my physio done because I was so slow doing everything else that had to be done. I don't know what else to say that is needed. I'm sure I think of loads more things, which is why I think I should make a video at some point, because I should list things as I think. But this is another reason I'm saying, if you're interested or just want to put your name out there, you're not committing yourself to anything. If you just want to learn more or find out more information, obviously we don't pay for you to come get here. We don't pay for you to get here. It's purely the accommodation is free, so there's no electric bills, no water bills, no land tax. I think it's a good deal in that respect, and that is my payment. That's what I'm covering the cost of, but you will have to be independent for money. And as I say, if you don't want to drive initially, that's fine, because Mike can take you shopping, that kind of thing. So you've got to cook yourself, you've got to buy your own food and anything you want. And if you do end up being here full time, then obviously it's up to you to sort that side of things out. We are classed as Europe, so it's EU information. So if you want to look about that, we can help you, but we're not going to run around for you, because obviously that's not what I can do. Anyone got any questions? Even if you're not interested, anything you think, yes, but what about this and what about that? And as I say, because we're EU, all your doctoring and all that, it's all the same as EU. So if you want information, we have the euro. I don't know what else people would want to know. So if you can think of anything, you think, oh, but what about that and what about that? As I say, I kind of need someone now, whether it be short term right now, or if someone wanted to do it as a trial, obviously yes. And by having no contract, because it's not a job, it's for you to be able to leave at any time. You're not under any commitment in any shape or form. Obviously, unless something happened, I wouldn't say, oh, I've got someone else now. I wouldn't do that. So you're secure here as long as obviously we got on and you did what you said you could do. I don't know what else. What else you want to know? Can they bring their pets? That's a good question. I want questions. Thanks, Cody. I've got cats, so I would have to say no to dog. Cat, yes. I think that would be all right, as long as they were up to date on and they were regularly wormed and all that kind of thing. Because ours are regularly wormed. What they get that 3-in-1 or whatever it is, which is tick, worms. I think there's something else. It might be 2-in-1. So we get that done for our cats. So that obviously, if they're coming from another country, then whatever you need to do for that. I won't tell Pickles. Oh yeah, Ashley's out. Sorry, Ashley. I mean, I'd love a dog, but particularly one of our cats is no. There's, even if a dog barks nearby, it's not fair. It's not fair on the cat. Not that we would mind it, but no, unfortunately. So that was a brilliant question. Ask me questions. Ask me more questions. And while we're talking about questions, I'm doing another Q&A video because the last one went down a storm. Everyone really loved it. Some people said, oh, I didn't know you was asking for questions. So if you've got a question you want me to answer, can be anything, in another Q&A, I'll be doing exactly the same format. So if you ask me a question, put down the question is for the Q&A, or else I'll answer. Pardon me. And I'll write down the question and give your channel a shout out as I read out your question. She hates cats. Yeah, she hates cats. Yeah, it's not fair on cats and dogs if they don't get along. Not at all. We've only ever once allowed a dog here. And they kept it away, and but that was for different circumstances. And it was only a tiny thing. It was smaller than our cats. And no, our cats went away for the whole time the dog was here, and it wasn't a bother, the dog. No, and it wasn't loose. They kept it sort of either inside or on a leash when it was outside, a big leash. But no, we lost the cats for a week, so it's not fair. But that was a brilliant question. Any more questions? Because I'm sure I've missed some vital things. That was a really brilliant question. Really brilliant. So as I say, even on your channels, if you have someone that's talking about, oh, how do they start? They're interested in homesteading, and we don't have animals apart from the cats. So if someone says, oh, do they have animals? No, it's nothing like that. If you want to go down to the horses and help Mike with the horses, you can do that. So someone who likes horses. I joined late, maybe I missed it. Is it to live in the home with you, or they have their own place on the property? They've got their own building, which is all done, ready to go, completely self-contained. Yeah, completely self-contained. So it is a home, basically. It is a home. And that's why I say we're providing that in exchange for helping me 5 mornings a week, whatever I need, but not as a carer. So no personal stuff, not a domestic. there might be an odd day when I say, can you wash the windows or something like that, but not as an everyday domestic for sure. No cleaning toilets apart from their own, obviously, that kind of thing. Are you open to a couple or just an individual? I said initially, because me and Mike only really talked about it last night and the day before, I sort of saying, I need help now. Things look okay, but they really are not. I said, oh, someone, because I sometimes feel a couple is a separate entity rather than a one-to-one. And then he said, yes, but you might get a couple where one of the couples can do sewing and whatever else, and the other part of the couple might be more into DIY and things like that. So I said, oh, yeah, actually, well, I'd consider a couple. So, and I think we might be more likely to get a couple applying that could offer more. I don't know. So, yes, I'm open to both. I'm definitely open. Would the person being your PA, would first aid be beneficial? There's nothing you can do for me. No, I don't mean to laugh, but no, that would be of no help whatsoever. So you haven't got to worry about me. I could put a lot of people off. You don't have to worry about what to do for me. All you would do is have Mike's phone number, and if there was any problems, you do nothing, and I mean nothing to me, just ring Mike. He's not far away. So there is no responsibility. I'm not asking for a PA for medical reasons, as in I need help. I'm failing physically rather than my problem is getting worse. Mike actually said the other day, I'm actually a lot better, and I agree with him in that respect. Mentally, I'm worse in some respects. I don't really want to go into it too much. I sound better. Most of the time I look better, but there's a lot of things I can't do anymore. But as I say, I'm fine, like personal care and that. I need no help there whatsoever. So there's that. Ask me questions. This is better if you ask questions. This is much better. So yeah, no, I don't want to scare people off. There's nothing to really go into with people that don't know me. This might be another reason it'd be quite good to have someone who's aware of me. But there's nothing to do for me in that respect. And if I was sort of comatized or anything like that, I don't want any help from the PA. That's when Mike takes over. So there will be no care on that front at all. Nothing. But if I don't get anyone through this, I'm a bit stuck. I don't want to, as I say, the only other way I could get someone is as a long-term work away. I know I've said anyone can leave at any time, but I feel a work away is more likely to just say, oh, I'm going tomorrow, moving on, I found something else. I want time to find someone else. But if it was someone like one of you guys, obviously that's not a situation. More questions. As I say, we can, depending on who does it, you are free every afternoon, you are free every weekend, but we can discuss things further depending on who's coming and what they're offering. I get your drift on that. I don't say slightly, but you can contact me if you need to chat. Oh, bless you. Oh. Do you want to share the news, Ashley, of your little gift coming? Do you want to share your news? I would have loved to have seen your reaction, actually. Would love to have seen your reaction. What else? As I say, car, you don't have to have long term. If Mike couldn't drive anymore, we could sort that out. So you could use our car, obviously only when it's things for us. If you did want a car, you've got more freedom, but Mike is not going to be a taxi service, but things for shopping, things you've got to fit into our timetable for that. Are there local jobs around that one of them could find? There's plenty, and we could even sort that out for you, but it depends on how much money you want. If you're talking sort of just money to get by, as in not like a full wage, we can get you one click of our fingers if you want enough. Remember, here you haven't got bills, you've only got your own expenses, so there's no household bills here, just what you need and what you want. So it depends how frugal you are in that respect as well, but you've basically got a free home. You've just got to pay for your everyday life in rural Cyprus. That reminds me of a channel. So yeah, if you wanted to find, as I say, it would suit someone who's either a YouTuber and gets paid for that and that's enough, or someone who works online, that would be absolutely perfect. Pensioner who's got the pension. Do you want to add anything, Mike? Because I'm sure I haven't thought of everything. Oh, he's trying to listen. Oh, Ashley says when he won the seed, I had to read it twice. Yay, I won the seeds. I'm going to send you a bit of everything, Ashley, unless you tell me there's something. I haven't read your email. If there's anything there you can't grow or don't want, can you let me know so I don't just send them? Otherwise, I'll just send whatever's on the list under that video. So I don't know if you've gone back, but check that video out. Or else I'll send you everything that's on that list. If that suits you, that's great. I don't know how you get on with your allotment buddies. Have it all and then do swapsies, maybe. That's up to you. So just let me know, or else I'm just going to send the whole lot. Oh, put your choice in the email. I love someone who reads and takes notice. Excellent. Excellent. Because you can have them all. I've got plenty. Where are we up to? I know a couple that is just starting out, but they would have to quit their jobs to come, and they need to save some money for their future for a home. Right. Oh, Blue Scott, congratulations, Ashley. Oh, I was hoping. I can't talk about something else because I've been told not to because it's going through lawyers. But I'm sure you'll know if you've been watching for a while, something else that's been going on with me long way back. I was hoping that would be sorted out by now, and then I'd have a bit of mums. So you might know what it is now. When that's sorted out, depends on how much I get, but I'd like to try and maybe do 2 seeds a month. Maybe one, I was going to say one at the beginning of the month, one at the end of the month, but then it'd be, yeah, I could do that, and then next month, but we'll see what we get first. Who's your favourite boss lady? Is your wifey not boss lady? But yeah, guys, if you know of anyone, but as I say, I want to build up a rapport with them, or else, see, I can't employ someone because it's accommodation for help, and that's why I say it's kind of like work away without going through the work away situation, but I want something long term. So there. Suck up. Suck up. Anything else, Mike, you can think of? No, I'm sure afterwards we'll be like, oh, that or that. As I say, if you're good at maintenance or whatever, I'm no good. So, but I would offer myself to someone. So don't feel that, oh, they've said that and I can't do that. Doesn't matter. As I say, something is better than nothing. I'd rather have someone committed and that wants to learn something like the how to run our solar, for example, or how to run the pool, that kind of thing. So you'd shadow Mike for a bit and learn things. so that if he was out and he's like, oh, I left the pool on, can you turn it off? You'd know how to do it, that kind of thing. He can't say how he's going to be, how soon. He's very concerned that he might not be able to drive at some point. Obviously, if something happened to him anyway, I can't drive. So the long-term plan would be a driver of some sort. I mean, to start with, it'd be a lot of taking you out and about, getting used to where you are and where things are. And oh, I'm no good at directions. So if it was left just me, I couldn't tell someone where to go. So you basically have to learn where things are. So if you're no good at that, oh, but you guys have all got your phones. Can you mark on places on your phones, on the map things? Like on Google Maps, you can like mark things, can't you? Anyway, there's that. What else? What else? I tell you, you'd have fun. It's definitely not a job. It's like living the lifestyle without the pressure or the outgoings. So it's like playing at it, doing the graft of it, but there's nothing hard work here. I wouldn't say there's anything hard work. The hardest thing at the moment, as I say, Mike's doing some, finally, with those marble salvage tiles we got. He's doing that. He's building a pallet wood kitchen. He's got most of that done, the framework of it. He's put in a shower room, so he's doing plumbing. That he knows how to do plumbing and electrics. If you want to learn skills, it's definitely a place to come, because he can teach you all sorts of things. It's just his hands are so shaky now. So he's like me. He's frustrated. He knows how to do things, but he can't do them. So he's a good teacher if you want to come and learn. I really know that after I finish, there's going to be things that's like, oh, I didn't mention that. We have internet. We'd probably have to extend it, the range. I think it just reaches there. So obviously we'd sort that out. We'd pay for that because it's our property. I hope it won't be like our Ziggy property where we rented it out and then they came, not the people in there now, but people prior, and said, oh, it's 2 years now, could you redecorate? No. So we're not landlords, we own it. So you live in it free, but we own it. Obviously, oh, that was something I did say when me and Mike would talk about it. You wouldn't bring, you could bring your own stuff, but you wouldn't bring like your own furniture because it is furnished and we're not moving it out. It's nice how it is, so it will be as is, basically. Let's say it that way. It will be as is. I don't think there's anything else I can think of immediately. I'm trying to think what else you would do. Well, let's tell you my week. Oh, yes, as I say, right, Monday. This is my schedule. This is probably what you'd need to know. My schedule, but bear in mind there's bits that you'd help that Mike's doing when Mike's not here. So let's talk about my schedule. So Mondays, I try and do physio every Monday, and that didn't happen this week because it's taken me so much time to do everything else. So I normally do that. You won't be involved in that. So you actually get free time Monday morning, because as I say, I try and do everything in the morning, and then the afternoons I either make a video or catch up or just chill out anyway. So there's that. Monday, I normally, remember this is seasonal, so this is right now, I normally go and harvest and prep everything. And that's what's taking me time. So I would definitely need you to help me prep. And if you know all those things, prepping things, storing, just all that stuff after harvest, that is something big I would really need. Then I make a video, post a video, do my live. That's really about it. So as you see, there doesn't sound a lot there, but it's the prepping. So that's something I really need, someone to deal with the prepping. Tuesday morning, I go for a walk. So you would go for a walk with me. That is quite important, to go for a walk with me, because I don't want to give up my walking. As I say, seasonal. So there's some seasons this doesn't happen. You would need to walk with me. Then I do some editing. That's about it. So Wednesday, oh, I do all my posting. So I'd probably send you gardening or doing something like that. Do some gardening or jobs that might needed help with or something. Thursday, no, just whatever needs doing. Watering, I will need help watering. That is a big job this time of year particularly. So summertime, watering. What else? Weekends, you won't be helping. So weekends are your own. So if I need help with anything that I would normally do weekends, I do the gardening and crafts and sewing and things like that. I would then obviously put that into the week of things I needed you to do. So yeah, watering, that is a big thing. I definitely would need your help watering, which again doesn't sound that bad, does it? But to me, it is. Anyway, I think I've talked enough to get the point across on that. So let's talk about what I was saying about my videos, what I've posted, what I'm editing, what's coming up, and so on and so forth. So I always let you know. Let's see. Oh, I've had big problems with YouTube. Oh, that's my subscriptions. Rapid. I don't know what's going on there. And I've been having a lot, and I mean a lot, of people suddenly responding to comments I made on their channel from over a year ago. And they're all apologising, saying, oh, sorry, I just got that. And it's so many channels. So I don't know what's going on with that, but there you go. So what's posted? Today we posted on this channel a pumpkin recipe. And on Wednesday, there's going to be a pumpkin recipe. See you, Ash. There's going to be a pumpkin recipe on my other channel on Wednesday. So they're two completely different types of recipes. This one is frugal full spicy stuffed pumpkin. And if you go on my Wednesday live that I just did, I talk about behind the scenes of making that recipe. It was so funny. So if you didn't see last Wednesday's live, go on that, listen to all what happened, the chaos of trying to make that recipe, and then go watch the recipe. And it's for a collaboration with Digging for Health. So Andrea's channel. It's a week of pumpkin recipes. And yeah, so that was that. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be showing you, I've edited the new swimming pool. So I've got backtracked right back to, it's only a short video, but little snippets of pictures of where the pool is now when there was no swimming pool. So all the shots you see prior to the pool being built shows the area of where the swimming pool is now. Then I've got little quick pictures of the actual pool being built up to where it was all nice and beautiful. Then I cut to how it was just before we've had it redone, the like disaster zone, and then little snippets of the new lining going in and the work done on it. and just starting to fill it up. It's still not completely full, but it's looking good. It's not too dark. You know, I was like worried in my last live that it'd be too dark, and it's beautiful when the water's there and the sun's on it, and the steps particularly. They make the steps by turning the liner upside down for steps because it's a little bit bumpy, so it's for safety and grip. And the old pool liner, as I said, was white. So it just looked like white steps. It looked all right. But now it's this shimmery turquoise colour, and as the light shines on it, it's almost neon. It's really pretty. Still editing your pumpkin recipe. Oh, you're doing it. Cool. Do you want to say what your recipe's for or not? You want to give us what that is? What the pumpkin recipe is? And then on Tranquility, as I say, I'm going to be posting the other pumpkin recipe, and it's for pumpkin mousse. Pumpkin mousse. Ooh, and that's a dessert mousse. It's like dessert, because pumpkin's one of those weird things that can be sweet or savoury, like pineapple. And funny enough, this recipe for pumpkin mousse, you can actually take out the pumpkin part of the recipe and put in pineapple. Ooh, pumpkin mousse. So, and the picture of it, just even the picture, the thumbnail picture, it's got like cream on it. Oh, lovely. Blue says, I'm doing a pumpkin and bacon pasta bake. That sounds nice, but there's a twist in it. Oh, there's always a twist with the blue recipes. Not noodles, is it? I like that because your quick noodle cookie thing you did. That's really cool. Oh, pumpkin and bacon pasta bake. That sounds lovely. That sounds really nice. Also, Bam dislocated his shoulder while making it, so there's big lesson as well. How on earth did he do that? Did he slip or something? Oh dear. Oh, I keep meaning to ask you, Blue, on your programme, they kept saying Tony. I kept saying Pamela and Tony. It's like, oh, got another man there. Oh, that was so funny. I kept meaning to ask you that. Did you realise they kept saying Tony? Oh dear, that's so funny. Yeah, I've got tons of footage that, because I've been busy lately, I've got loads of footage, and I don't even know what's going with what sometimes. Today I edited, I was just going around checking on the olives and the fruit trees, some, not all of them, but some of the pomegranates, and I was picking some of the cactus fruit, just bits and pieces. And now I think I must film things because I don't often take you to fruit trees on my land. So I thought I'll just film a bit, and I literally shot. And I was like, right, now I've got all these bits. So today I edited them all together, like, oh, let's have a wander around. And then the fig trees, I was like, something's eating that fig. And normally we have the oriental hornets, which I've got footage of them. And I was like, oh, that's just them eating the figs. And it wasn't. It was a praying mantis, but he's got like this shell thing on his back. I don't know if he's pregnant or something. It would be a she then, possibly. Or they one of those creatures as both. Who knows? And then I thought, oh, is it a leaf on the back? So when you watch it, when I post it, just look and see, is it a leaf on the back or is that part of him? And then when I was picking the cactus fruit, I then saw whole load of oriental hornets in those. I filmed that, so there's some bit of wildlife and all sorts going on there. Oh, okra, I was getting the pods of seeds off, cutting those off. Tanya and I both heard it called the moment. Oh, he has hypermobility in his shoulder, so it popped back, but he had no strength in his arm afterwards. He's using the knife a little questionably. Next episode. Oh, are you in another one? Oh, right. I thought you was just in the one. Oh, cool. The next episode is tomorrow night. They have said they don't mention him at all. So hopefully it won't happen again. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, didn't realise that. I thought you was just in one bit. You in the series? Oh. That's cool. Oh, talking of which, I think Ashley's gone now. I can only talk to my English people. Do you know Stavros Flatley? His son has got married and they got a little girl. She's 2. They kind of wanted the wedding before the little girl popped out, but obviously with the pandemic, that didn't happen. Liggy. They call him Liggy. That's not his name. So he got married. What was the other thing I wanted to tell you? If you're into the Chateau stuff, Dick and Angel are not doing any more episodes of their Chateau program. They actually have 5 new series under contract. The first one is going to be Secret France, where they take you out and about France. But Dick's very astute. He's under contract for 5 programs. So if one flops, he's got 4 more chances. Oh dear. Yes, they got me back, fools. I must say you was the best one of the whole thing. There was a couple that was like, is that all they've got? But yeah, yours was very good. Yours was very good. Yes. Oh dear. Yeah, weirdness. Got any more gossip? I haven't got my little sheet. I normally have, if I will like mention things like that, I normally have a little sheet. Forgotten about that. What else? I really do my catch-ups on Wednesday. But I thought I wanted to talk about this, so I kind of ditched all the other stuff. I guess you can't say what you're going to be showing this time. Yes. What's the time? 1:15. I'll probably finish at 1:15 because I've got stuff to do. I've got a big project. You can't see any remnants of it. I had dye all over my hands. It's gradually been coming off. There's a tiny bit of pale yellow. You can't see it now, like dark yellow. No, it's gone. Oh, that's worked quite well. Then got rid of most of that. I got coloured dye. What's my dyeing? I'm not dyeing fabric. But I've got nearly all the footage that I want for that. So I've been working hard. I'm tired doing it. But you know, when you start something, you're like, oh, got to get to the end. I've got to finish it now. And it's all everywhere. It's all over the kitchen, literally, and all on the floor. It's everywhere. But you have to let things dry, don't you? And if I want to do more than one thing, then I lay them all out. But then you have to get them all done before you can move them. So there's that. There's a big project coming. I wasn't pleased with it, but I said to Mike, well, if I don't do it like this, I can't do it. I had to use what I had. And the dye was, must have been older than, it was from my second house in England, this dye stuff. And it's not fabric dye. So obviously it wasn't probably the best it could have been. But that's coming up. But as I said to Mike, I've got to do it this way because we're not buying anything. And I'm kind of pleased with it. I said to him, don't look at it. And it looks all right. So when I film it all done, it will be from a distance. But if you inspect it, it's like, questionable. Questionable. Oh dear. So yeah, I start them. It's funny because I am a finisher. It's because my condition. I get tired and then I'm like, and then my hands hurt and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. But it will be good and it will be done. There's another stage to go. The dye's nearly done, but now he's found me some more to do of this. And I'm painting elsewhere as well at the same time. So it's all stages because I'm painting the utility block. I'm painting the utility block. I've done 2 parts of that. And there's a third bit when we can afford some more paint. I've been busy. That's what I say. There's lots of bits of footage, but it's either not all complete or they're just random bits that I need to find other bits that match. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today because I'm pretty shattered and then go and get something to eat and probably have an early night. I thank everyone for being here. Don't forget, check out Danny Day's Homestead. If you watch this from the beginning to the very end on the replay, I thank you very much. It's always great to see you, Blue. Absolutely fun every time, and everyone else that's been in the chat. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your help, and I'll see you all next time. So until then, Meraki.